Good day, everybody. Today we are doing a case study for the subject of banking and financial services. The case study has been displayed, and you can pause the video and you can take 2 minutes and you can have a read. It is regarding the credit rating agency. The Reserve Bank of India has criticized the credit rating agencies for allowing low rated companies to do rating shopping. And this was according to the Financial Stability Report. Now, what is rating shopping? In the second paragraph, they have explained what is rating shopping. Rating shopping refers to how a company manages to get same or better rating from another agency within 3 months of it getting a poor rating. The report notes that most rating shopping happened around triple B or lower graded instruments and has called for closer scrutiny of the instances of rating shopping. Now, what has happened in the case of IL&FS? IL&FS is an infrastructure leasing and financial service company. It is a NBFC, which is non-banking financial company. So the rating agencies have been largely blamed for their lax policies and oversight for the 2008 global financial crisis, and thus the SEBI had also penalized the credit rating agencies for rupees 25 lakh rupees each for their lapse in the duty towards the when they rated the NCD of the IL&FS, which owes close to 1 lakh crore rupees in the system. SEBI also found that the agencies were guilty of excessively relying on assertions of the ILFS management. Now, what happened here? Let me explain in a better manner that credit rating agencies relied on the management of ILFS company, and they gave the ILFS company a good credit rating. And what happened in reality was that the ILFS was defaulting in payments, right? If you read the news, what happened was since the year 2018-19, what has been happening was that the ILFS had been defaulting in repayment of their various short-term and long-term borrowings, and thus they were not credit worthy. So, but what happened was that the credit rating agencies like ICRA, right, the ICRA, they gave them good credit rating, which was not good on the part of the credit rating agencies also. Right now, if you know what is credit rating is an assessment of borrower that determines whether the borrower will be able to pay the loan back on time. Now, the rating is usually in terms of alphabetical symbols, like suppose A grade is for a good company, a good security, a reliable security, right? So what happens is companies raise capital in the form of various debt instruments like bonds, debentures, and these debt instruments are given credit rating by the credit rating agencies. आपको समझ रहा है? जैसे you write examinations and then on the basis of your performance in the examination, you are given grade by the assessment body, right? By the examiners. So what happens is overall you are given a grade, A grade for a very good performance in exam, B grade for an average performance, C grade for a very poor performance, and so on, right? So similarly, even the debt instruments are given credit rating. And what happened in this case study was that the credit rating agencies probably, now this is not sure, but they probably did not do proper due diligence. Due diligence matlab unhone ख्याल नहीं रखा. They were negligent and they gave a bad instrument a very good credit rating. Matlab, they were at fault. And that is why the RBI had criticized such credit rating agencies, and more so जो सेबी जो रेगुलेटर होता है फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स में, सेबी ने इनको penalize किया इनके negligence के लिए. So this case study says that the SEBI also criticized and penalized, and they found that the credit rating agencies were guilty because they gave good rating to a bad instrument, right? To a bad instrument. So now what is happening next is, let me give you a rough idea about ILFS also. Now ILFS, since it's an NBFC, it it supports infrastructure projects in the country, right? So, and it has big shareholders like LIC, SBI, HDFC. These are the shareholders of ILFS. So the shareholders and the other stakeholders showed a lot of confidence in ILFS, but in reality ILFS was not performing up to mark. ILFS was a defaulter company, राइट. उसने क्या किया, कैश क्रंच हो गया, आईएलएफएस कंपनी में क्रैश क्रंच हो गया, जिसके वजह से दे वर डिफॉल्टिंग इन द रीपेमेंट ऑफ देयर शॉर्ट टर्म एंड लॉन्ग टर्म लोन्स. सो देन देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज सीरियस फ्रॉड इन्वेस्टिगेशन, एंड उसके तहत नवंबर एंड दिसंबर 2019 में the ex-vice chairman of ILFS company was also arrested because it was a fraud sort of a thing. And in August 2019, the ED, that is the Enforcement Directorate, filed charge sheet for money laundering case against ILFS company. Now what is NCD? NCD is non-convertible debenture. अभी ये जो नॉन कन्वर्टेबल डिबेंचर आईएलएफएस कंपनी ने इश्यू किया था, तो उन एनसीडीज को क्रेडिट रेटिंग एजेंसीज ने अच्छा क्रेडिट रेटिंग दिया. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट in this case, the SEBI found that it was a rating shopping. That means, see, in the second paragraph you can read, rating shopping refers to how a company manages to get same or better rating from a credit rating agency within 3 months of getting a poor rating, right? So now if you move on to the questions, I'll just I don't think you can see the questions, but you will be able to see them. The questions asked were, the first question was, are the credit rating agencies trustworthy? If not, why? So here you can have a very well balanced answer. You cannot directly blame the credit rating agencies, but you can take the help of the case study, and you can first explain what is uh, credit rating shopping. So you can first give the meaning of credit rating shopping from the second paragraph. You can write it as it is. Then you can write that due to the vigilance of SEBI, they have been rightfully penalized. The credit rating agencies have been rightfully penalized by SEBI. Then, after sufficient analysis and comparisons on various reports by the different credit rating agencies, these credit rating agencies can definitely be relied on, but it is on the investor to compare the various reports of the various credit rating agencies and then decide for himself. However, sometimes it can so happen that not all credit rating agencies could be reliable because they may indulge, this is not foolproof, but they may indulge in unfair practices. Now, second question which was asked in this case study is that how is acquiring credit rating beneficial to a company? Now, there are various benefits that you can list. I will go and explain one by one. So first is lower cost of borrowing. Now, when a company is issuing debentures, bonds, okay, and when these instruments have a good credit rating, what is the benefit of that? It is that uh, they can issue these at lower interest rate. So that means a lower cost of borrowing for the company. Then we have wider audience. Now, due to a good credit rating, what happens is that you can approach a lot of investors, and a lot of investors can have a trust on you if you have a good credit rating. Then credit rating acts as a marketing tool. So it helps the company to build a better image, and it gives you a recognition. Then the next benefit is reduction of cost in public issue. Now, public issue is a big procedure, and it has various costs involved, like media coverage, conference cost. So, a good credit rating automatically leads to cost reduction. Then we have motivation for growth. So, from the company's point of view, uh, there is definitely some motivation. Like, I'll give you an example again related to your studies. Suppose you have a average grade, but then if you receive comments like you can do better next time, then definitely it will motivate you to study more, and it will motivate you to get better grades the next time. So similarly, a company gets motivated to take up new projects, and it gets the confidence to do better in the future endeavors. Then we have unknown issuer. Now, sometimes what happens is that even though the issuer is unknown, but the credit rating is good, so the investor will rely on the credit rating, and the investor may not know the issuer, right? But the investor can have a reliance on the credit rating and can decide whether the instrument is worth investing in. So it provides a recognition to a relatively unknown issuer while entering into the market, and investors rely more on the rating than the actual issuer. Then we have benefits to the financial intermediaries. Now, who are the intermediaries? They are the brokers. So the brokers are at advantage if the credit rating is good, because there are less efforts in making a detailed analysis and studying the company's credit position. And it is easier for the brokers to convince their clients to invest in these companies instruments, right? So the financial intermediaries don't have to put in more time and effort, so they save time, money and efforts in order to convince their clients that okay, this company is trustworthy because the credit rating is good, so it is automatically a good option to invest in a good credit rated company. Then we have something. Okay, we covered everything. Yeah, so I think there are 7 points. There were seven benefits, and of course, you do have the notes, and I will be sharing the notes again. So this was the entire case study, which was based on credit rating agencies. And in the first answer, you could write a balanced answer. You can write a diplomatic answer, and in the second one, it is a clear cut question on the benefits of credit rating and how a good credit rating would help the company, right? So there were 7 points in that which we discussed, and the investors have a lot of confidence if the credit rating is good. So this was the case study. I hope that you can read it again. You can pause the video, you can read it again, and you can understand that kya hua tha is case mein, and you can conclude that okay, wherever the credit rating agency is wrong, we do have a regulator in the form of SEBI that punishes and penalizes such credit rating agencies that have certain unfair practices. Sometimes it may happen. So in other times, credit rating agencies are quite reliable, but of course, it depends on the investor to have a proper detailed comparative study between various reports given by these credit rating agencies. Okay, uh, that's all for today. Thank you.